right, welcome to day 2, getting to scratch. Anthony started his journey last time, made a couple adjustments, so today we're going to kind of go down that same road. And as an instructor, it's super important to not let the student go on to the next thing until you feel like the things that they had last time are really in place and making some progress. It's super easy from a teacher side where I think they fail the student by letting them go too quickly down the road to progress. And we get excited just as much as they get excited. So it's our job to kind of help our friends and our students and everybody kind of stay in the moment and make sure that we feel comfortable that what they do right now is going to help them down the road, but then also not get them off track. So that's kind of what we're going to do today. We're going to recap. We're going to go over some of Anthony's stuff with his knee that we fixed, with his setup, making sure that he's seeing the golf ball out of his proper eye. He was looking at it completely sideways before. So we're going to go through some of that stuff. Then we're going to work on some shot shaping. I think it's super important as we go. So many people just want to play golf swing, and that's all they're thinking of is the things that they're working on instead of thinking about how that ball is actually going to move. So today we're going to work on some specialty shots and get Anthony to understand what makes that ball curve when he wants it to curve and make it go straight when he wants it to go straight. So let's go.
I'm excited.
So, I quit investment banking. I walked away from PowerPoint decks and Excel formulas because honestly, my soul was on back order. Now, I've got a new mission to become a scratch golfer. Sounds easy, right? Wrong. I'm currently a proud card-carrying member of the Double Bogey Club. But lucky for me, I've got this guy, PGA Pro, lifelong friend, and the only one who believes my slice can be fixed. Can he transform me into a scratch golfer, or will I end up with more divots than dignity? This is getting a scratch. Because, let's be honest, chasing birdies beats chasing bonuses.
There's always a cause and effect issue that occurs. So with Anthony trying to get his head over, now you can kind of see he's wanting to push that grip forward. So the cause, he's making his head tilt the right way, but it feels goofy to him. Well, he's not paying attention that club starts leaning forward. So we just got to take care of that effect part. So let's switch it and let's go more neutral to start. Turn your head last. There you go. Perfect. There you go. Beauty. Best one yet. And his ability to see the golf ball now is super important, and that results in a shot that goes right down the middle of the sim.
I don't think I've ever had that dispersion, right?
And that's the key. I think between the good and the bad, you always want to feel like they're not that far off. People that struggle with their golf always have too big of a dispersion. So their good shots are great. It's hard to make great shots better, but it's a lot easier to make bad shots seem good.
Yeah.
Good. So we're not losing sight of what we did last time.
Yep.
Now we're just changing some of the effect stuff. Great. There you go. Awesome. So the instructor's job is to make sure that he's still doing the important stuff that made him make the progress from last time that will allow these things to occur. That's what we're after. We need this stuff to happen from last week to just make one little thing occur this week where we're just taking out his unnecessary want and need to push that grip forward. Great. Super.
Ooh. And I felt off the whole swing, but it was just on autopilot. It was easy once I got through it.
Super.
Yeah, but that's just too easy. It's too easy.
That's fun. And one of the big things here, I think this is important for the player and the instructor. When they get going, it's more important what you don't say than what you do say.
Right.
Like I could share so much information with him right now about what's going right and everything like that. I want him to feel that without me saying it so that he has to listen to it.
Yeah.
And I think it's some instructors, like, we always try to seem like we're so smart. We don't need to act like we're so smart. We need to let the guy go. Like this is like Steph shooting free throws right now. Like you're not going to keep talking to him about what he's got to do while he's shooting free throws. No,
Yeah.
Let him go. Anthony's hit 5 in a row that have been absolutely perfect. My job is to stay out of the way. Keep going. And that's what we call good dispersion. We worked on bad dispersion last week where we had all these different golf balls going all these different directions when he hit a bad shot. Well, the good ones were great, but how can you take down that dispersion and make them all start to look like that? But what I care about, and this is the player in me talking here too, what I care about is that he's going about this in the same rhythm, same process, everything's the same, the result isn't changing what he's doing. Baby. So now we're going to get into some specialty shots. You can kind of see Anthony's getting this groove going right now and getting into some making the ball curve. You know, I'm play a ton of golf. I've caddied in a lot of PGA Tour events. Have the opportunity to play with a lot of tour players, and one of the biggest things is it always seems like they're trying to hit the right shot at the right time. And that's one thing that I try to carry as a player. Do I execute that all the time? No, but that's one thing that I always like to pass on is how do I make the ball do certain things at certain times? So we're gonna go into this and we're gonna show it from a golf club standpoint, how to naturally do it from the club doing this, and then we're gonna get into some setup stuff that will actually show you what to do to make it go left or right. So perfect situation, you get a back left pin. Well, if you usually fade the ball, you have to learn how to curve the ball to go right to left to make that ball access to that back left pin. If you care about getting better and bringing that handicap down and everything like that, timing is everything as far as hitting the right shot at the right time. So we're going to go into some of that. We're going to show him what needs to happen with the face as it pertains to certain shots and where that ball needs to start and getting alignment and everything set up. So we're going to start with draws first because I love to draw that ball. So let's get some draws. Okay, easiest thing first. Aim right, close the face.
Aim right.
Close the face.
All right.
Let's see what we get. And a big part here when you're hitting shots together, learn together. You know, see what they do, see how they react to the different setup, see how they react to just, hey, if the easiest thing here is to just change the club face, change the club face.
Yep.
Ooh, that was a good swing. So we didn't get as much curve as what we wanted, pretty straight, but man, that was solid. That's what I'm talking about.
Woo!
Now that's the perfect situation. So if that ball or if that pin is in the back left part of the green and that ball starts at 5 o'clock on the green and then makes its way up that way, that's a perfect situation because there's no way that ball can miss long and left. And a big thing of what Anthony did there that I think was super, super, super important for people to realize. on the first one, he set up the club and his body at the same time. Well, that made for some cross-secting lines. On the second one, he actually put the club down first to the target line where it needed to go, and then took his body position after that. I don't care how much golf you watch, every single tour player, they're putting that club down first. So that was a great thing that he did on his own right there to make that change. There you go, great. Now you can see he's there you go. Now you can see he's right at the target line. Same setup, close that face just a hair, make your normal swing. Good.
I set up further right on that one, but
Yeah, that was just going too far right with your alignment, but it's hit so hard.
I'm not swinging hard. I'm not trying to.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's pick out a target that's out that way. So that peak that's to the right of those white circles there. There you go. The peak in the mountain. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's use that as our target. There you go. Now you got something to look at. Good.
All right.
Perfect. Good. Close the face. Great. Swing. Beauty. Good. And this is great because now we're realizing that it's really hard for Anthony to actually hook it on command now because we've made some improvements in his golf swing. So now what we do is we can start bringing in that target line way closer to where the white circles are for a straight shot than as opposed to me, who I like to curve it a ton. Well, now we can bring that thing in a little bit, and now I can start to show him a little bit more on how to make that thing curve from the golf swing standpoint. So now, go ahead and take your setup.
Okay, just square.
Yep.
All right.
No, just like how you were.
Okay.
Aim right.
Right. Yep.
Okay. So as you get going, normal swing, you're just making a normal swing, exaggerate it like crazy. Give me a ton more inside. Let's see what we get for the curve of the ball.
Okay.
Yep.
Close
You don't
face
need,
or
Yep, close face.
Okay.
You don't need to aim so far right.
okay.
There you go.
All right.
There you go. A little bit of close, a little bit of inside. Close. That feels weird.
Crazy.
That's That's
like
great.
I tried to
Oh yeah.
sling it
Oh
around
yeah.
the corner like that, you know.
That's good. Oh, that's the one I want right there. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So when you have when you have the ultimate back left, I have no clue how this is gonna get there.
Yeah.
You always gotta think of what does the club need to do and what do I need to do. Clearly, when we just did it from the club, it was a little bit too much of a straight shot.
Yeah.
But it was not making the club go inside enough.
Yeah.
So when you get that club to go more inside, now you're making more arc in that swing. That face is going to release more. It's going to be able to get that thing to sling a little bit more.
Man. See, normally I would think that, all right, if I got a back left, I'm just gonna
aim over
gonna aim over.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just gonna aim over there.
For
Whatever.
sure. And then if you hit a little bit, that's a really good point that you bring up, because then all of a sudden if you hit a really good shot that actually draws, you just got penalized for it. Yeah. Now you're making a double.
And,
Yeah.
and now you are making a double. And depending on where you're playing, you either are short siding yourself, you're in a bunker, and it's almost impossible to go.
That's exactly right. And that's the part that I think is the hardest about golf. People say, man, it's just so hard and I don't get rewarded for good shots. Well, is your good shot at the right time that you should be trying to hit that shot? Or are you aiming at a back left flag and trying to hit it straight and you pull it? Good. There you go. That is pretty right there. Look at that ball. Oh, look at that. Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Yeah, that just.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. And look at the extra distance you get out of a draw. So people always say, oh, well, a well-struck shot is going to go the same distance. I don't agree. I think a draw always goes further because a right-handed player, that ball is curving in a different fashion, it's spinning in a different fashion, and it's working towards the target, not away from the target like a fade.
Yeah,
that was beautiful.
Life.
We worked a little bit on how to do this from the club and where it needs to go and everything like that. Now the third part of this is understanding how much the finish can help you with this. So I'm gonna hit a shot here and just kind of show the difference in the finish part. So it's no different than a pitcher that's throwing a certain ball. A lot of what's happening is coming from what he's doing as he releases the ball. It's the same thing with a golf club. So if I'm making a fade finish that goes up and I'm holding that club up there, well, obviously that thing's gonna fade. So sometimes people don't think about the shot that they're getting ready to hit, so they don't hit that shot according to their finish. Well here, if I'm drawing it, I'm doing everything that I just showed Anthony. I'm gonna aim a little right, I'm gonna close it a little bit, I'm gonna take it inside. Well, I can't make a straight out finish, and that's what's happening on those balls that are going dead straight for you. You got the inside part, so it takes off to the right. Well, that's great. Well, now we gotta make this thing feel like it's going from in here. We always call this ringing the bell. If the bell's over here, we gotta ring the bell over here and hit that with the club head. So if the bell is out in front, what's gonna happen no matter how much I take that inside, that ball is taking off to the right.
Yeah.
That looks a lot like your shot.
Yes.
So it's off to the right. So now, to make that ball curve back, I'm gonna move the bell from straight out over here to over here to the shot shape on where that thing goes.
Yeah, you got a round on that.
So now that thing goes.
Wow.
So last part of this, getting your finish to match what you're doing. I'm gonna show you exactly where this goes. So if the grip is the bell, you were hitting the bell out here. Yeah. So now, that bell's over there. You go. Make that thing sling.
A lot of rotation.
Make that thing sling. There you go. Great. Inside, hit the bell. Oh, that was close. That was just a little bit of a pull. That was okay. You just tried too hard.
I tried really hard.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. All I want you to do is hit me some chips.
190 yards. All right, so we'll hit some chips.
Yep. And you're gonna feel me do something in your backswing. Go ahead and take your shot. So I think in some of those that go to the right, and especially knowing how you usually like to press the grip forward, if you pull that grip, where's that club going? Out and to the right,
Out to the right,
It's
yeah.
gonna leave the face open like we can see it on the diagram. So the opposite of pull is push. So when we get here, all I want you to do is feel like you push it. So if you just push it, so go ahead and take your shot up. I'll do this one for you. Push. See how the club head beats the grip.
Yeah.
So now, give me a couple chips.
So, okay, kind of like I'm casting, right?
Yeah, and you hear so much of, oh, well, you gotta set the club and never cast, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you're a natural lean forward and pull the grip, the opposite of that, like we always talk about, is to push it a little bit. That's a different form of releasing it. So hit me some small, really slow chips and just feel like you get that club head moving past the shaft and the grip a little bit. Oh, baby. You did it.
That's it.
Look at that thing.
Once I know the feeling in the backswing,
So good. And that's the thing, I'm always going to take it to the extreme side, let's say, of, hey, these are all the things that can happen, and then let's bring it back down and say, okay, well, what can we minimize? What's the feel that you really like? I mean, that was a chip shot that went 156 yards.
Yeah, it wasn't a chippy. It was just like, I'm gonna throw it out there.
Oh, baby.
That's it.
Look at that. There we go.
That's it.
So now that aiming to that left pin doesn't come from aiming straight and hoping that you hit it straight. There's actually some serious preparation now.
Or a little fade so that I don't hit it off the green.
Exactly.
And that is 3 strokes.
That's huge right there. Love it.
Yes, sir.
Look at that. Look at that thing. And now look at it. So there's a lot of ways to get those golf balls, like how we started to where we are now.
Yeah.
I mean, we worked on just the recap stuff of last time, but more importantly, like getting to, hey, there's a lot of ways to make that ball end up in the same spot as all the other ones.
Yep.
People just get afraid because no one ever shows them what to do. Great. Okay, so I think a big part of today in session 2 of getting Anthony to not always have to think about golf swing. I think that's one of the hardest things. When I see people go to the range and they're practicing on their own, they're always working on positions and everything that they have to do, and some of that feel element goes away. And I think when you get out on the golf course, you have to know how to hit a particular shot. And a big part of understanding how the ball shapes and curves and everything like that, one, you gotta know how to hit it straight to begin with, so that you know, hey, this is my regular shot. We did that to start today. And getting that grip in a more neutral position, and he loves to push it forward like that. That's just because of what he thought he had to do before. Well, now he doesn't have to do that anymore. And so when you get into some shots, when we go to fade it and we do some fade shots, yeah, sure, we're gonna leave that grip forward a little bit, we're gonna open the face a little bit, we're gonna hold that thing off a little bit. But today, learning a specialty shot for a planned draw that has a lot of curve, that was a big part of, hey, you can't always go back to an old habit, and I gotta show you what that is. So changing the club position to start, getting that grip in the right spot was a huge key that will allow him to do everything else. Understand that club can go inside and can release a little bit sooner, can create a different finish position for him. And I think that's a big key. So now, instead of just going to the range and working on the positions, now you can actually go hit shots. And we have some great golf domes here and everything like that. We have simulators here. So to be able to see the dispersion and how different than they are from what they were before.
Yeah, man.
It's a totally different world. Welcome to the draw life, buddy.
Yes, let's go.
I appreciate everyone that joins that team of who likes to see a draw. The other thing too, draws just go a little bit further too. So if you're gonna miss it, I always tell people miss it a little bit further. You know, until you get into the PGA Tour level where you know you need it to go 207 and it can't go 208.
Yeah,
we'll get there. The tour life is coming. Don't worry. But that's kind of what I'm after for him, is just getting him to go practice some shots, whether those little chip shots that we hit or some of the bigger ones where we really want to see a lot of curve. Yeah. But dude, I'm proud of you.
Woo!
Let's keep going.
Feels good, man. There's only 2 weeks in. Coming for y'all.
Great.